Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mr. KB. It is Monday, September 15th, 2014, and this is going to be my first video in roughly 2 months. And the video that I decided to make in my leisure time of freedom that I have right now is a review for the single player portion of The Last of Us Remastered, developed by Naughty Dog. The original game came out a little over a year ago, and I just never actually played it. I was looking forward to the PS3 version of it, never actually played it. Sorry for the skipping in the screen, but for whatever reason, my capture system right now is acting stupid. Either way, loved it. Simply loved the game. It is one of the best games I have ever played. Up until last generation, my game of last generation, which is the PS3 360 Wii generation of consoles, was Metal Gear Solid 4. To me, even though that came out very early in the PS3's generation, to me that was the apex of everything that can go well or push the boundaries of where video games as a whole could be, could go, was Metal Gear Solid 4. And it held that position all throughout last generation up until I played this game. This game is just fantastic. I don't even know what else to say beyond that. But the one thing I will say is that the PS4 version is really just the PS3 version remastered, as the title entails. This is, in all intents and purposes, a PS3 game. If you look at the shrubbery, if you look at just the graphics and the way that some of the models are, like when it comes down to like hair or even just the water, you can tell that this is a PS3 game. Some of the things that were improved for this game are draw distances. There's not as much fogging. There's not as much limitations to what can be shown on screen due to the more powerful hardware. The gameplay is not going to change much. It feels very Uncharted-like, seeing as Naughty Dog developed both this and Uncharted. There's going to be a reason why they feel very similar. Having said that, the story in this just is amazing. Some of the models, the animations that they add are of a better quality than seen even in Uncharted. And I had a great time. The story has you playing as Joel, which is this rugged, handsome James Brolin looking guy here, and his quest to take Ellie, which is this Ellen Page, Juno character looking person here. And the story has its ups and downs, its peaks and valleys, and it's really told in a fantastic way. Naughty Dog could have released this game as an episodic game and charged you $15, and released it in a 5-pack to charge you $75 instead of the $60 that the game cost at retail when it first came out, and it still would have been worth the price of admission. Zombies are not really zombies, they're infected. You have humans that you have to deal with. This is a very Walking Dead-like pursuit to storytelling, where zombies are not the only thing you have to actually fear. And it's just a great experience. I'm kind of kicking myself for not playing the game when it first released, all those that time ago. But you know what? I played it. It's fantastic. This package also includes the Left Behind DLC, which was released for $15 after the original SKU for the PS3 was released. But that is included in this package with the remastered game for $50 at retail for the PlayStation 4. So it is cheaper for people like me who did not actually jump on the boat the first time around. Speaking of the Left Behind DLC, what winds up happening is that DLC is focused more around Ellie and her adventures prior to the events of The Last of Us. The story does transition between a pivotal point in the Last of Us storyline, as well as flashing back to Ellie's adventures prior to the events taking place. My position on that is I like the story. I'm not sure why it was cut out from the original story arc or playthrough of The Last of Us. It might be budgetary reasons or whatever the case was. That does happen in the development cycle of video games. For me, it would have made more sense to actually have that in there because it tied the story way better together, especially the ending. But having said that, that DLC alone being included as the PS4 in the PS4 retail version of the game, it was fantastic. I enjoyed both playthroughs thoroughly. The MP, I did not actually play. I have not played. I was not interested in the MP. I was just merely interested in this game for the single player story. And if you look at it, it looks amazing. As I stated before, there are bullets that you can shoot. You have your inventory here. You can craft items when you grab items, and it tells you what you can craft, like Molotovs and nail bombs. You can also upgrade these with the pills that you obtain throughout the course of the game. And of course, you can always use the Molotovs. Just switch over to them, toss it, has radius, boom, looks awesome. I'm going to give this game, as a whole package, for just a single player portion of it, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Yes, this was my game of last generation. It was magnificent, but I'm going to rate it as a PS4 game, since it is the version that I played. As a PS4 game, as far as taking those technical leaps, as far as taking the next step in the evolution of gaming, I believe that Second Son, infamous Second Son, is still the apex of the current way of games. That is the next evolution as far as graphic goes, as far as the total package goes for a PS4 game. Second Son is that next step. This game is just the game for the PS3, and this game is a PS3 game coated with some PS4 paintings. Not a bad thing. The experience is still magnificent, and nothing gets hindered. There was enough improvements to make this a very enjoyable game for the PS4, but then again, this is a last generation game, and it still has some technical issues that I did witness. Like, I did notice still some pop-up. I still noticed some T-posing in the game. Some of the scripting is not there. Some of the AI for the game, while not game breaking, does kind of take away the immersion for a PS4 style game. But as stated, still a fantastic game. That is going to be where I leave it off. Sorry there was no action. You know me, I don't like to ruin games, and the smallest things, in my opinion, can ruin a game. So that's something that I did not want to do. I merely want to share my opinion as a review for all of you to hear, just in case you guys are on the fence. If you haven't played it, easily worth the $50 that they charge you for the package. If you have played it, I believe you're going to be a little bit more hard pressed to actually go through the game again, because there isn't that many differences that I can tell from the base game. If you haven't played the DLC, then at this point, then you can play it as a remastered version of The Last of Us and the DLC. Plus, you get some tweaks and balances to the MP. Might be worth it for you. For me, I enjoyed it. Easy pickup, easy must play. If you haven't played the game, it's a definite must. If you have played the game on the PS4, as I stated already, you'd be more hard pressed to actually pay for the game to play the same game over again. But that is my review for The Last of Us Remastered on the PS4. 4 out of 5. Loved it. But then again, what is it not to love when Naughty Dog develops a game? This is Mr. KB. Hope you guys found this review somewhat helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.